So we're gonna tear out your eyeballs, and we'll see how you like that. And then we're gonna rip off your toenails, one at a time, until you join us.
Wait, are they actually talking about physically torturing him?
Yeah, because then they're gonna rip off his fingers, one at a time. What's up, people? I'm sick again. Surprise, surprise. It's a great time. It's episode... where are we? 98 of Kill A Delibird. Welcome back. There's so many episodes. It's the podcast of Pokemon. We watch Pokemon. We talk about Pokemon. It's really cool because Pokemon is interesting, but also kind of stupid. Very stupid, actually. I'm Kellan. I play Pokemon. I know a lot about Pokemon, but a little bit too much about Pokemon. My co-host, though, doesn't know much at all. He doesn't know enough. Honestly, I think he should know more. It's Graham. Graham, how you doing?
So many things going through my head after your intro. Number one, did you catch what Brock had last week? Number two,
so.
Don't worry, folks who aren't that into Pokemon. I try to make us talk about life, love, and everything in between using Pokemon as a canvas. Number three, we are going to inject that cold of yours with some Pokemania and get the episode throttling and a bottling. Number four, I thought of this. Sumo in the sheets, scam artist in the streets. Am I right, Kellan?
I don't remember sheets in the first episode, but sure.
Someone wants to fuck Feraligat-your.
Oh, absolutely. It's on two legs, so
yeah,
someone wants to.
Is this the start of, like, the furry bait?
I feel like no matter what, there's always going to be furry bait of some kind, regardless of how the Pokemon actually looks. So, it's Rule 34.
What a political answer. But sort of yes, right?
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But that's just, like, not an interesting answer.
Yeah.
Also, did I commit a sin already by not referring to it as scalies? Since Feraligat doesn't have fur.
I hate that.
Me too, actually.
I'm not a fan of that.
Isn't that just an uncomfortable term?
It's like catheter.
That's your joint
Don't
for
say
an uncomfortable term, catheter?
Yeah, some people don't like moist. I'm not a fan of catheter.
Do you immediately think of your urethra when you hear the word catheter?
I immediately think of what a catheter is for. Right. And I go, oh, God.
Yeah, that's true. Urethra is such a visceral word, too. Like, if you say pee-pee hole, I'm like, ha-ha, hoo-hoo. But if you say urethra, I'm like, oh, medical.
Too formal for me.
Too formal. So what's new, Kellan, besides your Brock-caught sickness?
Not much. I'm just sick. I went to see a comedian last night.
Ooh, hell yeah. Like a local one or a traveling one?
No, a traveling one.
Okay.
I went to see Randy Feltface.
I don't know that.
He's a puppet.
Oh, is it Jeff Dunham or something?
No, it's Randy Feltface.
Okay. I don't know what this is.
He's a puppet. That is the thing. He is a comedian, and he is a puppet.
Oh, he's just the puppet. Okay.
He is just the puppet, yeah.
Australian?
He's Australian, and he's very funny.
Nice.
He yells a lot. That's...
Okay.
But it's good.
Loud is funny? Or there's some nuance?
Yes, but loud for him is funny.
Okay.
He makes it funny.
Okay, cool. I've weirdly never heard of this guy. I'm looking it up, and he's got quite a bit of... He's been working for a while, so...
Yeah, 20 years, I think he said.
Yeah.
He has... His tour this time is all about the first banana, and how bananas have ruined everything, and bananas are to blame for the shit state our world is in.
Oh, yeah. I don't know the bit, and I agree.
Yeah. He has this
whole
conspiracy. He has this whole conspiracy, and honestly, I'm on board.
Well, I guess that's just a tease.
Yeah.
Is there a special or anything people could check out? Probably.
Not yet, I don't think. It'll probably come out at some point, but it's very good. Blame bananas, everybody. For everything that's shitty in your life, just blame bananas.
But good show.
Then you're good to go.
Live comedy.
Very good show.
I've only ever been to one live comedy show in my life, and I'm a pretty big comedy fan. Like, I watch a lot of stand-up, so that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a bar show. It wasn't. They weren't even like celebrities. They were just like local comedians.
I've seen Craig Ferguson.
Oh, nice.
Piff the Magic Dragon.
I don't know that.
Randy, and then I saw Bo Burnham live when I was in like 10th grade or something.
Back when he toured.
Yeah, his Make Happy. Oh, that was incredible. I had post-show depression off of that one for a few days.
I would like to see Bo. Like,
I hope he
there's a
gets
bunch
back to
of
comedy at some point.
good comedy specials out that I've, because I follow more of that. And so would I pay big? Maybe. I don't know. It depend on the person. I recently saw a special by a guy named Alex Edelman. Have you ever heard of him?
Does not ring a bell.
Yeah, Alex Edelman. He has a special that's I think it's on HBO or Crave if you're in Canada. And his whole special is he's a Jewish comedian who went to a white supremacist meetup. And his whole special is him telling the story about being at a white supremacist meetup and them slowly figuring out that he's Jewish. That's the whole special. Very dark, right? But it gives him this canvas to tell all these like brilliant, beautiful jokes on. Very good special. That's one I heard recently. And then, the future's kind of female for comedy. We've got Taylor Tomlinson's really good right now.
Yeah, she's good.
Nikki Glazer, right? People talk about her. She's actually got some really funny stuff.
It's a femininomenon.
I'm not sure if I like that. That sounds like an HR term.
What do we
That sounds like a marketing
term. Femininomenon.
Was it from something?
Who is it? It's from, it's Chapel Rowan. That's who it is.
Oh, yeah. Girly Pop Nation. I've heard.
Yeah. I don't care for that music, but whatever.
I'm perfectly neutral with that kind of pop music. I'm just not. I'm happy it exists and people like it and it's got a fan base, but I don't listen to it. And that's it.
Good for them.
And that's it.
Really.
That doesn't matter. Yeah. I don't like when people shit on that music just because they don't listen to it. It's like, well, just like chill. Like, who cares? People like it. Like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, sure. What are we doing today? We're looking at Pokemon episodes. What are we doing? Ringmasters and the Poke Spokesman.
Yeah,
that's
episode
crazy.
196, Ringmasters. Episode 197, the Poke Spokesman.
Which has the best Japanese title.
Yeah, let's hear. What was that again?
You can speak with Pokemon, the words and feelings of Pokemon.
Beautiful.
So wordy.
How'd you feel about these ones?
They are very average.
Interesting. So I agree in the sense that we're very much in filler.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Ringmasters was a decent action episode, though. And the Poke Spokesman, I almost really liked, okay? I actually think that episode was close to brilliance, okay? It was. But brilliance is a knife's edge. It's a teetering little teeter-totter, right? You can fall on either direction into the abyss of mediocrity or to climb the slopes and be a Himalayan of an episode. And balancing that is tricky, okay? We'll get more into it, but there was a point where I thought this episode was going to go more into okay, and this is going to sound stupid because you're going to be like, Graham, we're watching Pokemon. But I thought it could have leaned into almost like legal drama territory, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Of them trying to actually just figure out if this guy is a con artist or not. And that side of it, I thought was really interesting.
The chicanery.
Yeah.
I tell you.
I thought that part of it was quite interesting. I thought the other aspects of the episode leave a little bit to desired, but yeah, we'll get into it.
I didn't think they were bad, but neither of them blew me away. I think they're just very replacement level episodes.
I tell you, the Poke Spokesman, let's remake it.
All right, maybe you can convince me otherwise.
No, I actually agree that it is average, but I think that it reeks of potential. I think that episode with some fundamental tweaks could have been. I like the premise, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, before we go to that, we have to do something that's completely unrelated. Because last week, Graham gave us his list of top 10 diseases and conditions in the Pokemon world. And I said, you didn't go crazy enough. So this week, I'm doing my top 10 diseases and conditions in the Pokemon world.
That's right. We have a true and blue double or nothing back-to-back bit off. First time.
Bit off.
First time. Kellan put his money where his mouth is. Last week he said, you know what? I can do weirder. And let's see where we're at. So this is top 10 diseases in the Pokemon universe, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well,
ready?
If you're ready, dive into it. Number 10.
All right. Top 10. This disease from a particular water starter from Alola was eradicated at one point, but came back due to the prevalence of anti-vax propaganda. It's Popliolio.
Okay, I need some help. What is the Pokemon? Because I don't know the
Poplio.
Alolan starters.
Poplio. It's a little sea lion.
Oh, cute. Poplio. Okay.
Popliolio.
I almost thought you were going to do something with eradicated there. did the Radicate start the anti-vax movement?
I think so. I think they carry the Popliolio strain.
The Radicates are Russian sleeper agents. They're controlling social media.
I believe it fully. Number 9. Okay, so it's still in Alola. There's the Ultra Beasts. Do you know the Ultra Beasts?
No, I haven't. That's a game I've actually haven't touched at all. Should I try it out at some point?
People rag on Sun and Moon a lot. I think they're very good. The main complaint is that they're so dialogue heavy and you can't skip cutscenes. But I think for a first playthrough, it's fine. It's just that replaying it, it's tough because there's so much to get through.
The setting looks appealing, but yeah. Anyways,
it is
Beasts.
Nice. Ultra Beasts. They're a subset of legendaries that come from ultra space through wormholes. But did you know that there are another subset of Ultra Beasts that couldn't fit through the wormholes because they were too big? And we call those the morbidly ultra obeasts.
I like that. So what is the problem beyond the wormhole that has led to this epidemic? Because, this isn't natural. This is more like McDonald's has moved in beyond the wormhole, right?
Yeah, it's McDonald's. It's KFC, it's McDonald's, it's Wendy's. They've taken over ultra space.
Low cost, high calorie, cooking oil based foods. I hear you.
When really, we should be looking at the cost of living in ultra space. It's the cost of living that's causing these ultra beasts to have to go eat so much fast food.
It's a fundamental problem, right?
They can't buy produce.
Housing, jobs, it's all connected. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well done, politician and super ultra space. Is that what it's called?
Yes, ultra space.
Beautiful.
Number 8. This is Dr. House's favorite Pokemon. It's Reuniclupus.
Yeah, well, I know the lupus part of that. Yeah. What is the
Reuniclus?
Reuniclus, and what is that?
It's Solasis, right? The little fetus guy. I brought him up last week.
Okay, yeah.
He's the evolution of that.
Oh, so he's a fetus?
Big fetus guy thing.
Big fetus, okay.
Embryo, I don't know how to... It's weird. I can't describe it. Number 7, you'll know this one. This is a pretty common one. It's rough. You gotta get some mosquito nets for it. It's Malariados.
Malariados, nice.
There you go.
Very,
easy.
Very good. How do they combat that? Is it all
Not well.
over? Oh, okay. What are the symptoms?
It's rough. Poison.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, you got antidotes everywhere, so that's manageable. But it's all about distribution, right? It's about getting the antidotes to the right areas. So it's a logistics problem.
It is really
fascinating.
Number 6. You had Shuckles last time as like a shingles thing, and it was just called Shuckles. I have another one too. In the Pokemon universe, there is one that's just called Sneasels, and it's the measles.
It's the measles.
But you sneeze a lot too.
Also, the Radicates also really pushed against that one.
Yeah, they did.
Tough one. Sneasels, I mean, I guess that comes with an ice component. Like, you're also really chilly.
A little bit. The chills. You get the chills. You sneeze a lot. It's rough. It's a rough one. Number 5. I don't have a setup for this one, but I guess it makes you real big in Galar. It's Meningigantamaxis.
Meningigantamaxis. That is a beautiful sound.
Thank you. I was kind of proud of that one.
Meningigantamaxis, new metal album name. I like it.
That is good.
Yeah.
You gotta save that. Number 4 is another simple one. It's Victreebola.
Victreebola. Ooh.
Yeah.
That'll eat your brains inside and out. What does Ebola do again? It's bad.
Great question. I have no idea. I didn't look it up.
It fucks you up. Like badly.
I know it's not good.
Yeah.
Not great. Number 3. This is a real ravaging disease in those with uteruses. Is that the
If
plural?
You would have said uteri, I wouldn't have blinked. I don't know what's correct, but I also don't care. You've communicated the beauty of plurality in uterus.
But thankfully, in the Pokemon world, this one is so rare. It's considered mythical, and they call it endometriosis.
Oh, okay, endometriosis.
Yeah.
That is crazy. At least it's rare. That's good.
It is very rare. So that's good.
Did someone ever try to clone it? It's like a war weapon?
Yeah, and they were
biological
shut
war?
down immediately.
Oh, okay.
We don't need that. We don't need endomutotriosis.
Yeah, that is a scourge.
Number 2, this one's actually, it's a computer virus.
Ooh.
Caused from watching too much pornography. It's gonorrhea.
Well, that's actually perfect. I mean, I get it, right? Porygon is through the computer.
Exactly.
Somehow, through this melding of programming and Pokemon, through your eyeballs, a virus can be conveyed that then inflames your genitals just from watching it. Wow.
Yep. And then if it gets real bad, it's called Porygonorrhea 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a smoother looking.
Yeah, it is. It looks better. It's much worse though.
Yeah.
All right, number 1. This one happens when your psychic kind of bird decides to be a real nuisance and start shitting all over the place. It's irritable noctowl syndrome.
Irritable noctowl syndrome.
Yeah.
I mean, we both hit our number ones. Mine was typhlosive diarrhea with a back end issue. That is beautiful. Irritable noctowl syndrome. So that is just when your bird companion gets into the I don't know.
The laxatives.
Yeah, right. And then lets loose everywhere. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right. That was my list. I'm a fan of my list. Go
I liked your list too. Shout us out in the comments which list you would prefer.
Won?
Yeah, who won?
Who wins the bid off?
Kellan came with a very strong contender. I liked a bunch of those. And go back, listen to last week's episode if you didn't hear my bit.
All right, let's go to Ringmasters.
All right.
Shall we?
I like the bit at the beginning of this episode. So we're in another classic little village that looks like feudal Japan. It looks like these spots are just all over the Pokemon universe. And I love this open bit. The narrator's like, the gang finds itself in an intriguing little village. And then Misty's like, what is this? And Brock's like, it's an intriguing little village, Misty.
It's 10 seconds into the episode, and I'm like, fuck, that's hilarious.
That's funny. I really like that, yeah.
That's a good one. But yeah, so they're in an intriguing little village. Bulbapedia notes this is Rikishi Town.
Oh, okay. I don't remember a name.
It's Japanese for sumo wrestler.
Oh, sick.
I don't think they said it in
English. Okay.
In English, yeah. But Rikishi Town. They're still on the way to Olivine, and they see a big battle between a Feraligator and a Nidoking. And then Heracross versus the Feraligator. It's just like throwing them around. It's training.
Just tossing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we Dex the Feraligator. That's a featured Pokemon of the episode.
New guy.
It's a big jaw Pokemon, evolved form of Totodile. Totodile, our beloved little dancing companion. This is what it grows into. It's just like a big Godzilla alligator thing.
He's so cool.
He's very cool. Game-wise, good Pokemon, right?
All the starters are at least average, slightly above average.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, pretty good.
Not much to say there, but it is just really cool. Giant alligator. All of the Johto starters kick ass. Love them all.
Yeah, great design, good utility. I want to know, Kellan, so one of the things about this episode is they really emphasize like physical strength a lot and almost into like fighting moves, I guess. I just want to know, is there any analogs into the games for Feraligator that could be drawn on here?
Well, let's look at its Dex entries. It's all about its jaws and moving fast, but not really like anything about just
brute strength,
physical strength. Its highest stat is its physical attack. So,
okay,
I mean, there's something there.
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Can it learn any fighting moves?
Dynamic Punch, Rock Smash. So yeah, in Gen 2 at least.
Kind of. Okay.
Submission.
Submission, there, that's a good one, yeah.
But it has to learn it as a Totodile, interestingly.
Oh, weird. Okay, so
it's event exclusive.
So kind of half works. A little bit of a strange choice to be the feature sumo Pokemon.
Yeah.
But only if we're looking at a game lore. In the episode, like it looks fine doing this stuff. It looks appropriate. It's a big menacing Pokemon, so.
Yeah. I feel like, there definitely could have been better options if we were going sumo, like Machamp.
Machamp, yeah.
I feel like there is straight up just like a sumo Pokemon.
Well, there's that thing.
Hariyama in Gen 3.
Oh, that's a Gen 3.
Close to sumo.
Yeah.
So
that's a little bit later.
Come on.
They'll just run it back. They'll just do it again.
Did they not have the foresight? Come on.
Oh, foresight.
Where's that TM? Anyway, yeah, that's for alligator. Any other questions?
No, we
from the
can
class?
continue talking about Feraligat tossing
Cool
Pokemon
guy.
around. So you
Yeah.
mentioned he tosses a Heracross, and then we see him fighting a Granbull, tosses the Granbull. And then the Feraligat's trainer comes out. His name is Raiden. Okay, so these are the two characters we're going to meet. There's the trainer of the Feraligat, a dude named Raiden, and there's this old man, Shonasuke, who is the president or the leader of this little society.
Old guy.
Old man, yeah.
Every dojo type building needs an old guy.
I mean, that's true. This is the copy and paste of the feudal Japan setting here, right?
Yeah.
It's like, where is the old sensei?
Exactly. But Ash really likes the cut of this guy's jib. This Feraligat. Apparently, they see him throw like 2 things, and Misty's like, that was the 5th one. I'm like, how did you get to 5? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, the old guy, Shinosuke, is impressed. They're going to take a break. So they get introduced, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, Raiden is looking to win at King's Rock at the upcoming Pokemon Sumo contest.
Yeah, that's
But Misty's just enamored by this massive alligator.
Oh, yeah, it's a giant water Pokemon. Hooray.
And, I mean, Feraligat is noted as 7'7".
Whoa.
So that is pretty big.
When he's standing up, he is menacing. Wow. He should be in the NBA.
What is the average length of an alligator? American alligators, 3 to 4.6 meters.
Oh, meters? That is
Apparently.
long as fuck. That's snout to
giant.
tail.
That's fucking huge. Chinese alligators get 1.5 to 2.1 meters.
Huh.
Aw, they're so cute. They're so tiny and adorable. Oh my goodness. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of that goes in the tail, but that still sounds
Probably,
really
but that's
big.
still
Holy,
giant, yeah. What's the biggest alligator ever?
That's in Lake Placid. It ate those people and a cop, I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that shitty movie.
Fuck. Is that fiction?
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's like a Jaws ripoff with alligators.
The largest alligator on record measured 5.8 meters, 19 feet 2 inches.
19 feet. Wow.
Holy fuck.
That's a big boy.
That is massive.
That'd be scary.
Alligators and crocodiles are so cool. It would be terrifying, yeah. Anyway, alligator, 7'7" alligator. We learned in this town, they don't do normal Pokemon battles. They do sumo battling for whatever reason.
Yeah, Shinosuke being the director of the Pokemon Sumo Society, and that's what it's all about here. And the whole thing with a sumo battle, Kellan, is that they say is you can't use special moves. This is like a little bit...
moves.
You can't use moves. Okay. So you can't use any like named attack, which is kind of
it's raw physical strength.
Hard to say where they draw the line at exactly, but you just
They're
can't yell out attack.
Essentially, yeah. Feraligat goes back to the workout and he's like punching something, and Ash brings out Totodile to be like, hey, you'll be like this one day. And Totodile's just like, I'm a fucking Totodile. I love life. Ah!
Yeah, he's like, cool. I don't understand anything. I'm gonna dance.
But they ask what Pokemon Sumo is, and they're like, is sumo with Pokemon. Because like it really is, because they don't use moves, and so it is like regular sumo where you can't whip out a flamethrower against your opponent.
No concealed weapons in those little sumo diapers.
Yeah. So it is quite the same, except just with Pokemon.
Yeah, and it's ring outs are in there, whole thing. It's about pushing against each other, yeah. Now, this Raiden fellow with his Feraligat is actually expected to win the next tournament. He's the top seed. Ash, hearing about all of this, is like, I just learned about this today, but I want to compete. Like,
Classic Ash. But his Pikachu and Totodile, they're too little, too small,
yeah, there's
too weak
weight
little
requirements.
Guys. The weight requirement. So we go to Oak. Let's call Oak. We need Snorlax. Making a comeback, baby.
Yeah, I mean, there's an 80 kilogram weight limit is what we find out, and Snorlax is way above that.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk a lot about that weight limit later. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
We'll get into the weeds.
Okay, good thing I brought my weed whacker.
But yeah, Snorlax is 460 kilograms. So
whoa,
I think he's good.
So that's like an imperial ton, isn't it?
That is 1,014 pounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Crazy.
I feel like there should be more weight classes because that feels a little unfair.
Oh yeah. It's like they just never like heard of Snorlax.
Yeah.
Right.
What the fuck? Why is this thing's 1,000 pounds? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need Snorlax, and he's gonna swap Noctowl for it, because Oak wants to observe Noctowl's interesting coloring. So we're gonna swap that out. That's actually not gonna really do anything.
No,
We'll get there.
It's
Why?
very temporary.
But also, it's noted that they say that Snorlax is like the only one that would work. But Tauros is actually 88 kilograms. And he has 30 of them. So he could have brought 30 Tauros.
Yeah, I think the 30 Tauros, that's true. I wonder if they could compete together, like stand on top of each other and wear a trench coat.
That'd be a tall-ass Tauros.
We're heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Tauros isn't, like, bipedal. All these Pokemon, like, have arms.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Actually, no. There's one that doesn't. We'll get there.
Okay.
Don't worry. We'll get there. So we're at the weigh-in, and we see some Pokemon in the little crowd, and this is where I was like, this doesn't seem right. Actually, because we see a Granbull, who is noted as 48.7 kilograms.
Ooh.
Way under.
Not heavy enough.
Nope. There's a Golduck, who is 76.6 kilograms.
Not heavy enough.
There is Kangaskhan, which is actually exactly 80 kilograms.
Heavy enough.
To the kilogram, yeah, 80.0. And then, well, there's Jessiaki and Jamie Sosupi, who are entering their Miltank, who Miltank is noted as 75.5 kilograms.
Not heavy enough.
Not heavy
How
enough.
heavy is Wobbuffet? Unrelated.
Like 20, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, he's quite light, apparently. I was surprised by that
this
one.
Way in?
28.5 kilograms or 62 pounds.
They don't go into this, but they must be using rocks or something. So
Weighted anklets.
Yeah. Oh, do they?
I think.
Do they say that?
I would say.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's just my theory.
That's a good theory. So there's these two sumo wrestlers, Jessiaki and Jamie Sosupi, who are entering the Milky, which is their Miltank. And it's
a very real Miltank.
With the face of a Wobbuffet, giving us...
No need to bother talking about that.
No.
It's just what this Miltank looks like, obviously.
Definitely Sunflora flashbacks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, just a little unusual. It's fine. But Wobbuffet... I spelled it. It's Wobbuffet, guys. I'm sorry.
Your sickness-addled brain.
Yeah, and these sumo wrestlers, we may as well say, it's Jesse and James.
Yeah, obviously.
They're entering Wobbuffet in a Miltank costume. Wobbuffet almost spoils the thing, and Jesse freaks out, and Meow's like, try not to have a cow, Jesse.
They're discussing why they want to enter. Jesse suddenly wants to win for pride and self-worth.
She just wants to win something.
Dignity. They just want to win. Don't you have any self-worth? And Meow's like, I used to before I met you.
Don't you understand what it means to have pride and self-respect and a sense of worth and value and dignity? Yeah, no, she literally just wants to win something. There's no evil plan here. She just wants to win.
Yeah, not yet anyways.
So we see Snorlax weighing in. He breaks the scale.
Shatters.
Literally. Shatters. They're like, well, I guess that means you're approved.
You pass, bitch. You owe us a scale, too.
We'll take that out of the winnings.
Uh-huh.
So the 35th annual Pokemon Sumo contest is beginning. Snorlax is still inside. He's sleeping.
Yeah, he's sleeping through the ceremony. And then this is the key that really gets Snorlax reeling and dealing, get him involved. They reveal, besides the King Rock, which was announced before as a prize, there's also a year's supply of Pokemon food. Holy fuck.
Oh, shit.
So Snorlax
that gets him going.
wakes up. He heard the phrase food. He is out there.
All right. And so we see on the board, there's some more Pokemon on the board to show us who is competing. There is a Nidoking, who is 62 kilograms.
Not heavy enough.
There's a Lickitung, which is 65.5 kilograms.
Not fucking heavy enough.
Quagsire is 75 kilograms.
Fuck me in the ass. That's 5 kilograms short, you fuckers.
And Arbok, surprisingly 65 kilograms.
Not heavy enough.
I thought he would be a lot lighter.
I guess that's some
honestly
dense snake matter.
Some real dense snake. Some real dense pipe.
That phrase makes me laugh. Oh, it's not going to.
But it's a single elimination bracket. 1v1, winner moves on, losers out. And finally, Ash shows up with Snorlax because he heard the food, so he's out.
It was narrow, but he's there.
Raiden said most of these Pokemon are bred for sumo, so you got some eugenicism going on here, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely selective sumo breeding. Now,
Interesting.
Feraligat's looking to be the strongest, but he's got eyes with this other Pokemon. There's a Blastoise. That's kind of the rival.
Shoot.
They're eyeing each other up.
He's the one to beat this year. We'll see what happens. And Ash is like, oh, I'd hate to get caught between those two. That's not foreshadowing. That's just a line.
Kind of a weak setup, actually.
Yeah. So we go to the first battle, where we get this interesting bit from Shinosuke when he announces the people. And so I have a question here from Tristan, who requests that while we do this, we imitate the announcer before describing each match.
The
which
singing?
I say, please no, I will do it once. And Graham's free to do whatever he wants, but I do not have the mental energy to do that.
He's talking about how he like sings them in, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So there's this announcer like sings them in. It'll be like Milky the Milk Tank versus Ursaring.
He goes from the east.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Ursaring from the west. Miltank.
Well, there you go.
And
I
then
mean,
they
that
fight.
deserves an Academy Award. What you just did.
Oh, please, for the love of God, give me an Oscar.
And then people will be like, did you know he was actually sick when he recorded that?
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
IMDb trivia, baby.
Harrison Ford was deathly ill that day. So he just pulled out his gun. Yeah.
So it's Ursaring versus Miltank. And people understand. I think the gang's like, that Miltank looks a little weird.
Yeah.
But Ursaring goes to push it, and then, Miltank counters Ursaring, and he goes out. Oh, God. So easy.
Wow, their secret strategy is winning. Team Rocket's secret strategy, that is.
And the gang's like, but they can't use attacks. And thankfully, the old guy stops it.
Yeah.
He protests it. There's this whole thing. The guy can protest it if he sees something weird that the judges do. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, the director is a
it out.
benevolent dictator. He can kind of call the shots. He says, okay, use the move counter. That's a move.
Disqualified.
Team Rocket yells in protest. Like, what the fuck, dude?
His decision is final. Goodbye. And they're like, does this old coot have any idea who he's talking to? So they whip it off. Prepare for trouble and stop your hassling, because we're through with sumo wrestling.
That's good. I like that.
And then Wobbuffet shuds the Miltank costume. Oh my god, it's a Wobbuffet. Everyone's like, oh shit, that's crazy. We had no idea.
Sweet sentence from the director for me. He goes, further proof of your duplicity. Do you have no decency? You made a mockery of the rules we abide by. Team Rocket yells, rules are discriminatory. Meowth goes, unfair, too.
And unfair.
That's funny.
Why should Team Rocket have to play by the rules when they are only able to win if they break the rules?
I mean, the institutions that have systemically kept them down. Mm-hmm. Tale as old as time.
Unfortunate. They've had enough. They're going to play by their rules, and they're going to steal the Pokemon. To which Feraligat Hydra pumps them away. Goodbye. No room for cheaters.
Yeah, all right.
And so, next fight, from the east, Feraligat, from the west, Golem.
It's getting more and more beautiful each time.
It is. It's so much more effort every time. So, I'm really finding it. They lunge and lock arms. Sumo time, baby.
Now, Golem's got a weight advantage here. Yeah. So Feraligat use focus. No, he doesn't use focus. That's a move. He just focuses. Yeah. Or as my childhood best friend's little brother would say when he was really little and couldn't pronounce words so much, he focuses. No.
Yeah. We found that really funny.
I mean, I find that funny now.
We tried to get him to say focus as much as we could when we were little.
It's like the story my mom always tells about how apparently I was like 3 years old and in the mall and yelling, look, Mom, it's a fire fuck.
That's like when I was really little, I was like, probably 3 or 4. And I don't know why, but I was just sitting on the chair trying to come up with words that rhymed with truck.
Oh, God.
And I go up to my mom, they've got like people over or something, and she's visiting with some people. And I just go up to Mom. I'm like, Mom, is fuck a word?
Like you thought you invented the word fuck?
I was wondering if fuck was a word.
You independently discovered the word fuck. That's ingenious.
Yeah, I was like, I think this word sounds like it could be a real word. I should ask my mom.
Christopher Columbus, the Leif Erikson of curse words.
Yeah.
Kellan.
Fantastic. Focusing. Whoever focuses their power will be victorious, apparently. Golem leans in, but Feraligator chops at him, and Feraligator wins. And they're like, and Brock's like, oh my god, but Golem is 4 times as heavy, which Feraligator is 88 kilograms times 4. That's 355.2 kilograms. It's 88.8 kilograms, technically. Golem is 300 kilograms. So actually, kind of close on the math there.
Not as far off as
Not
I
bad.
thought. I thought you were going to be like, a golem is only 120 kilograms.
Yeah. It's like 3.5, technically, something like that.
Oh, I'll give that one to Brock. That's
Would
not
be
that
close.
bad.
Yeah, I'll give it a pass.
Especially since, like, within species variants, that golem could have been 4 times.
Yeah, I heard Golem was 4 times as heavy, and I was like, oh, I gotta pause the episode again. I gotta look up golems, wait, and figure this out. Oh, I did so much weight.
The things I do for science.
Research. I know, right? Let me get a montage of winning matches.
They play Push It to the Limit from Scarface during it. Push it to the limit. Whoa!
And then it is Poliwrath versus Snorlax. And Poliwrath's only 54 kilograms, people.
Ooh, not heavy enough.
Not heavy enough. Poliwrath runs at Snorlax. And he just bounces off Snorlax's belly and flies out of the ring.
Speed and power can't beat guts, Brock says.
Pretty great. Or gut, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
But Snorlax is like, I won? Food. Give me the food.
I'm going to Uber Eats something. I don't care what you guys want. I'm going to Uber Eats something, okay?
I'm going to go to Uber Eats. I'm going to order an extra large pizza and a bucket of chicken and a dozen cookies. And what do you guys want?
Nuggets? Oh, yeah, I could go for nuggets.
Yeah. But he goes for the food. Ash has to recall him. He was a silly guy. This is fun. Good old Snorlax. And we see at the market in town, Team Rocket's walking around. James finds some souvenir paw prints, footprints from the Pokemon. They're like, oh my god, we can make phony prints, and we can sell them big, and we can hang around the stadium and steal the Pokemon.
Good plan. Kind of.
Great. Yeah. Semifinals. It's Machamp versus Snorlax and Feraligator versus Blastoise. I did note Machamp is 130 kilograms, which that's more than I expected.
That's heavy enough.
Pretty heavy.
It's all his limbs.
Yeah.
I mean, muscle is more than fat.
There you go. And he has 4
muscular arms. 4 muscle.
I'm very tired.
That's fine.
And sick.
We know. It's funnier, Kellan. 4 muscle was a great joke.
It is.
Take the win and move on.
Feraligator versus Blastoise. They lock together. Feraligator is trying to push her, but Blastoise jumps up. Oh, goodness. Feraligator dodges. I thought the music was nice here. Feraligator pushes it then again. It almost goes out, but Blastoise kind of smacks it a bit.
Yeah, they have those, like, E-Honda 1,000-hand slap thing. Yeah, that, like, sumo strike where it's, like, repeated blasts. I actually really like how that looked in the episode.
It did look neat. But nearly pushes Feraligator out, and Blastoise goes for one more big push, but Feraligator ducks. Pops up, palms, twist, pushes it out. He wins. Woo.
Palms together and twist for Feraligator's victory. Huge. He defeated his rival. That's nice.
Yes. And so Machamp versus Snorlax is next. Same thing happens as before. Machamp just bounces off Snorlax. It's great.
Yeah, that's just how Snorlax is winning. All stomach, no brain.
Like, he bounces off Snorlax, and then even Ash is like, okay.
I'll take it.
Like, very, very shocked.
I really think that after this, they might update the rules to have an upper bound too or something on weight.
God damn it, I gotta look up Pokemon by weight now. Like, I gotta figure out, at this point in the series, was anything even close to Snorlax? Snorlax was 1,014 pounds. Steelix was 881 pounds. That's the closest.
Technically Gen 2.
That's Gen 2.
I bet you those are the 2 main ones.
Those are probably the 2. And then Golem at 661 pounds, which we do see Golem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Golem, Steelix, and Snorlax. But Snorlax is still far and away the heaviest Pokemon at this point.
Yeah.
So Ash has moved on to the finals. So is Raiden. It's going to be Feraligator versus Snorlax. Raiden's like, oh, can't go easy on you just because you're a good kid. And Ash doesn't want him to go easy on him. And apparently Ash is the first rookie to make it to the finals.
Yeah, this is a total upset. Ash.
I wonder how.
Now, I like the music that kicks in here. It's kind of got a Western cowboy theme,
Yeah.
but like with some kind of feudal Japanese like feel to it, I guess vibes. I don't know. So it's kind of, but it is cowboy-ish, which was like, I guess a little bit of a weird clash of themes, but I still thought it worked. I like the theme there. And it's going to be Feraligatr versus Snorlax, right? The final.
Yep. To continue Tristan's question, he is curious about as to why they describe Snorlax as from the west, Snorlax from the east, Feraligatr as, the orange Johto is like east Kanto is east of Johto. And for a bit I was like, that is interesting. And then I remembered, oh, they're just calling east and west from like the sides of the stadium.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That's what it is.
It's actually just about your seed. They're saying like in slot 1, Snorlax.
They could just say from the left.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound as official. It's a poetic flair that probably comes from sumo. Yeah, it's not literally they traveled here from the west.
Snorlax lunges, battles up. He misses. Oh, he's off balance, but he gets back on his feet, dodges Feraligatr's push. Apparently, Snorlax can be speedy, we see. Ash is like, oh, it's fast. He's big boy, fast sometimes. Feraligatr launches at him, and he pushes and pushes. Oh god, Brock thinks that it might be over. He's almost out of the ring, but one big push he goes for, and Ash is like, this is going back to early in the episode. We didn't even talk about it. Ash is like, doesn't have the strength to beat it, but maybe if we use its weakness, because there's a point early in the episode where they're like, you gotta use your strengths and weaknesses, or something like that.
Something like that.
And so he has Snorlax take a big breath.
Yeah, take a deep breath.
That's his weakness?
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, his stomach flares up, bounces the Feraligatr off, kind of resets the match now here.
I really like that, though, when Ash is figuring this out and he tells Snorlax to do that, like an 8-bit version of the Pokemon theme starts up.
Playing.
And I like that.
Yeah,
I like when that 8-bit one shows up, because it's very, very rare, but it feels right when it does. And I like it.
Oh, totally. And it reminds you, like, oh, yeah, video games.
Yeah.
Video games, man.
So, yeah, Feraligatr is bounced back, and they launch at each other. And Feraligatr grabs Snorlax and throws him, but Snorlax doesn't quite go out. He lands on the edge of the circle, and he's so heavy that he causes an earthquake, essentially.
Which is kind of a move, but not. So he didn't use it.
It's just it's caused by the impact. So
and this
I would say it's legal.
Feraligatr's foot to slip out the back.
Well, it causes Feraligatr to be distracted, and Snorlax is able to go at him and push him.
There you go.
And then his foot slips out the back, and Snorlax has won. Who could have seen that one coming?
I mean, I was surprised actually a little bit. Just because I was like, really? They just let Ash win this whole thing, even though he doesn't know what the fuck's going on?
It's a Snorlax. What are you going to do?
I guess so.
I think they noted, at least in the first 2 matches, enough of, like, Snorlax is just can just do this by itself.
Yeah.
And Ash doesn't really need to do, because, like, when Snorlax just bounces them out, we get the shots of Ash being, like, surprised and like, what the fuck just happened?
He just brought a cheat code to the thing.
Yeah.
That's why I do think the rules will be updated.
Absolutely. There's no way that they're going to allow Snorlax next time.
Misty's happy for Ash, but sad for Feraligatr. Aww. So yeah, Ash and Snorlax are proclaimed the winners. The King's Rock goes to Ash. What is that again, Kellan? Is that what evolves to a Slowbro?
King's Rock is a held item. If you are holding it and you attack Pokemon, with I believe it has to be a contact move, it gives a chance of the opposing Pokemon to flinch.
Oh, nice.
It also will evolve Slowpoke into Slowking when traded, holding the King's Rock, or Poliwhirl into Politoed, holding the King's Rock when traded. So,
and is there only one of them in the game? Or 2?
I know there is one.
Like,
there might be a second one.
Is it a limited item, I guess is what I'm saying?
I will look quick. There's one in the Slowpoke well, and then you can get one from a trainer that'll call you, and they're also held by Wild, Slowpoke, and Poliwhirl 2% of the time.
Oh, okay.
In Gen 2. Okay. So you can get more, yeah. There's one guaranteed one, though.
Gotcha. And then the other reward, of course, is the food, which Snorlax just rampages towards and just starts going to town.
Also, got a note on the bracket, there's also a Heracross. that Heracross we saw earlier, 54 kilograms. Not
heavy enough.
But yeah, Snorlax tears through the food in 10 seconds. And that got me wondering, like, they say it's a year's supply of food. How can they guarantee that? Because some Pokemon eat more than others, obviously.
It's like using the factor meal logic.
Yeah.
Like these are like preset meals for a training Feraligat-your or something.
For winning, you get 1 year subscription to Factor.
It's like estimating like 2,000 calories a day. This is like how my
some Pokemon need more than
grams
that.
of protein.
Like Snorlax, we know eats thousands of pounds a day.
Yep, it just doesn't work.
So you can't guarantee that. But he gets all of the food. He's very happy. He passes out. He's gonna be out for a while. And Ash's like, "Well, I guess we'll send you back to Oak then.
Guess I'll get that Noctowl back.
Passed out. Can't afford to feed you, Snorlax. I'm sorry." Which, hey, that's like, I think that kind of answers a question we had in the Orange Islands. How the fuck are they feeding this thing? And turns out they spent all the money.
Yeah, they're not.
They can't afford
Oak's
it anymore.
Problem.
Yeah. Well, Raiden congratulates Ash. He wishes him luck. Will he be as successful in the Johto League? Who knows? And we go back to Team Rocket one last time. They have all of their signature prints, or phony signature prints, and but the matches are over. Everyone's gone. Looks like Team Rocket has messed up again. There's nobody here anymore. They took too long making them that they can't sell them anymore.
That's pretty good. Just completely empty.
Yeah, I like that.
So
that's the episode. Go for it. Book it, baby.
Book you. Okay, so the trope I'm looking at is, of course, sumo wrestling. Kind of a generic trope, but of course we see like this in fighting games. So there'll be a themed sumo wrestler. I already brought up E Honda, and then lots of Japanese media likes to like take this call back to the art and competition of sumo wrestling. But I found a story reference on tvtropes.com's sheet on sumo wrestling. It's actually a bit of a subversion of this. A short story called Man Mountain Gentian by Howard Waldrop. There's this like fictional sport called Zen sumo wrestling, where two people using psychic attacks and mind games compete. And so it's got the like traditional flair of the sport where they'll still dress up, like it and have but they just sit there and then have like a mental match of sumo wrestling. And I thought that would be a fun thing to do in a future episode, but with like Alakazams or something, where they have sumo wrestlers that are entirely mental. They just like close their eyes and then one of them falls over.
That doesn't seem particularly interesting to watch, though.
I know, you'd have to like kind of cut to what like their mental looks like, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to do that like anime shit where it like goes into their brains.
Yeah, like in SpongeBob, where then it's all on fire and all the little SpongeBobs are running around the office.
Oh, fuck. Those parts are so funny. the little so SpongeBobs, yeah.
We're just a physical manifestation of the abstract concept of thought.
Yeah, why did they say that again? It's like they're talking to each other about like, I don't remember how that goes.
Because the things are going crazy or something, and one of the sponges is firing another one of those SpongeBobs, and the SpongeBob's like, "Please, no, I have a wife and children."
Right. That's it.
And the other SpongeBob is like, "No, you're not. None of us have children. We're just clever visual metaphors. You don't pay me. We don't even exist. We're just a clever visual metaphor used to personify the abstract concept of thought."
That was a top 10.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Agreed.
It's on the level of, don't they know the physical limitations of living underwater? And then they throw it in the fire.
Or one of my favorites is, "Are you ready to party? Yeah. Are you ready to get crazy? I'm already hearing voices."
Oh, man.
Anyways.
Okay.
This is a 4-4 now. The
right.
plastic ping pong pitcher objective rankings. We're going to pull 2 categories at random from this pitcher, rank the episode based on that. What do we got first, Kellan?
The first category today, the Team Rocket motto.
Okay, not bad. So it's the sumo. What were the unique lines you noted again?
Prepare for trouble and stop your hassling because we're through with sumo wrestling.
I like that. And I like the
Wobbuffet sheds the Miltank costume.
And I like Wobbuffet, popping up through the Miltank mirage.
It's okay. I think next episode was better, actually. But
I mean, I still like it. I thought it was a funny line. It's not tremendous, but it is a flare above your typical. So I would go with a 6 personally. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 6.
Wow. I was thinking just like a 4.5. So 5.25 for that. Second category will be the plot.
the plot. Okay, so sumo wrestling competition. We enter sumo wrestling with a far overweighted, overclassed fighter who doesn't know what's going on, stumbles his way through and wins. Team Rocket tries to do things, it doesn't work.
Yeah, this is a very Team Rocket light episode.
It's fine. The plot.
They don't actually try anything.
I mean, there is that thing again about weaknesses and strengths, but it doesn't really make sense. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't think the plot here is that strong. I think the strong point of the episode is there's some good action sequences.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. I'll go the 3.7.
Yeah, I'm in that section too, because like they introduced this whole weight limit thing. You have to be 80 kilograms, and then they completely disregard that with many a Pokemon that are not noted to be 80 kilograms. And like, sure, there are weight variances in later games, but like some of these kilograms are like 60, and like we don't have a variance of 20 kilograms on that.
Right. The components of plot. We've got structure, creativity, drama, and adhering to weight class rules.
Hey, if you're going to introduce a restriction in your world, you should follow it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
True, internal consistency.
Also, it's like Ash enters another thing and he wins it. Oh my goodness, crazy. We haven't seen that before.
Wild. Yeah, and it feels throwaway because there's no lesson there, you know?
Yeah.
It's more meaningful when there's a lesson attached to it. And
Snorlax isn't hanging around. Like, he's just here for this one episode. We had this whole thing about Oak wants to study Noctowl's coloring, when like he could have just sent back anything. Really, it didn't really matter. So I'm just gonna go flat 3. Doesn't do a lot for me.
Okay.
So that's 3.35 for that. Overall, 4.3 for Ringmasters.
Okay, that's a little bit weaker than I think it deserves. I think it's in the flat 5 area, but you know, we're not that far off. So
yeah.
4-Por, I respect your decision, and let's see what you'll say about 197, the Poke Spokesman. Now, I was saying before, Kellan, I thought this one was interesting in the sense that I thought the premise was interesting. We'll get into it, but it leads you down a little bit of a what do I believe and how do I figure out what is actually going on. I think there's something underlying there that's kind of interesting. So
yes. So we're trudging along on the path, and Pikachu is spent. He is exhausted.
Tired and weak. He's trying to flex and look tough, which was cute, but he's fallen over.
Poor little guy. And then some old guy down the path is like, that isn't it. The soil has minerals that absorb electric energy. And from that moment, I was like, oh, this guy's a fucking quack, isn't he?
Yeah. And then he starts speaking Pikachu, to which I laughed out loud.
Pikachu, Pika. And then I'm thinking, oh yeah, this guy's nuts too.
And he had a weird energy about him in the sense that he felt like, you know, if you're at like the grocery store and typically you don't talk to anyone, but suddenly someone will just start talking to you and it's like kind of uncomfortable. And you're like, okay, have a nice day. It kind of felt like that. I was like, I don't think these kids really want to be talking to you.
No. He talks to Pikachu and he's like, Pikachu has lost energy. And I'm like, no shit. What told you that?
The tiredness, the falling over.
Maybe it's because he is visibly exhausted.
Yeah.
Pikachu's too weak to walk. That's what Pikachu told him, apparently. Which, again, no shit. He fell over. But he says he speaks fluent Pokemon. Ooh.
Interesting. Exasperation.
Like,
everyone's like, hold your horses. Hold your horsies.
But that'll have to wait a bit, because we go to Team Rocket, and they got beards.
They're dressed as old men, drinking tea and eating mochi. They got a
senior's discount, though, thanks to the beards.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Senior's discount. They're apparently at the rest stop, the aforementioned rest stop, because we see the twerps and the old man coming up the road, so Team Rocket goes and hides.
As if the twerps would recognize them.
I know, they're actually good, well, decent disguises. Better than average. Yeah.
Better than, I'm wearing glasses.
They hide Jesse's hair. That's basically.
Yeah.
If they hide Jesse's hair, I think it'd be better. But anyways.
But even then, they won't recognize him. But when they apparently when they get down the hill, this guy says his name is Simon. I don't believe we hear his name until much later, but it's Simon. He says when they get down the hill, you can get Joy to heal up, but for now you can use the electric generator here that is attached to this bike. And for a second, I was like, man, that sounds like some bullshit. But then I remembered we saw that in like the 5th episode or something.
Very
Ash is trying to recharge Pikachu to fight against Brock. And he does basically the same thing.
Yeah.
something very similar.
That happens in the Pewter Gym fight?
In between. Like, he fights Brock and loses, and then he goes back.
At the Poké
eventually.
Center. Okay.
No, it's like he meets who turns out to be Brock's dad.
Right.
Who...
Oh, wait, he gives him the tip?
He helps Ash recharge Pikachu or something. He's got like a water wheel thing.
Oh, the water wheel.
Hydro dam.
Yeah.
And a like hydroelectric whatever. And yeah, he's helping to like recharge Pikachu or something. But like, this isn't the first time we see this exact thing. So that was
and we've heard about Pokemon that I guess feed off of electricity in general, other electric Pokemon, like the Magnemites that could like store it up, and the Jolteons charging them and stuff like that.
Electricity is like food for these guys, apparently.
Yeah, it's
essentially what they're going for.
Yeah, there's a vibe there that's somewhat consistent. So I think let's buy that for now. Now, the twist here is that the old man is actually going to charge him for his services, both for the bike usage and the interpretation. And then he's like, well, I can't charge too much for one Pokemon, so I guess the interpretation could be free. And the kids are like, wait, there's money on the table at all? Like, what is going on? We don't even know who you are.
He's like, you can charge any other electric type Pokemon you have. They're like, oh, we don't have any others. He's like, oh, well, it's unfortunate to only charge for one ride. Like, wait, you have to pay? What?
I know. It's like,
yeah, what else?
We would have just gone to a Poké Center.
Yeah.
We don't know who you are or if we can trust you. It's not like you're discussing money. So,
but he eventually acquiesces, and he's like, I should have told you beforehand. So you know what? It's fine this time. You don't have to pay.
Team Rocket's listening.
He won't charge them.
No, charge them for the charge.
Yeah, Team Rocket's listening from under the bench. They're like, oh, Pikachu's low in energy. And so they pop up. They sent the bench flying, and the guy's on top of the bench flying. And then Jessie's got this witchy voice on, and she's like, prepare for trouble, whatever you do. And then Simon's like, I know. Just give me a second. I'll get you another pot of tea. He interrupts them. And,
he won't stop trouble from brewing, James yells, which was a funny line.
But he also like does that like humph out of his nose.
Yeah.
With a tea whistle blow, which was sweet.
That's a good touch. Yeah,
that was a fun touch. I like that. But of course, until the disguises come off, Ash doesn't have any idea who they are.
No. What are these
as
old
I
men?
said before. Yeah. They whip it off, and Ash is like, oh, I know who you are now.
Great, Ash. Genius.
So Meowth has an idea. They're like, what's your idea? He's like, okay, we got to huddle first. I like that. We have to do a huddle. And so his plan, he says, the old guy says he understands Pokemon. Meowth's never heard of a human that can understand Pokemon. So, like, what's going on here? So they start to question him. He says, ask Pikachu. He talks to them, but Meowth can't hear what he's saying to Pikachu, trying to eavesdrop, but he can't hear it. And Pikachu is just trying to communicate to Ash, but he's too tired, falling over. Oh no, he has to just rest. It's almost impossible for humans to understand Pokemon language, Simon says.
Almost. Interesting.
But then Officer Jenny shows up. She's like, I don't think you can either. Yeah.
You're under arrest for a scam, you dirty old man.
There's been complaints about someone swindling people, taking their money for Pokemon interpretation. He's like, but I am an interpreter. Just ask the Pokemon. She's like, that's the beautiful part of your plan. No one can ask the Pokemon because no one fucking understands them.
Right, so there's no way to kind of corroborate what he's claiming is basically it. It could go either way. There's a lot of parallels here to psychics, right, in the real world, about how they'll tell people sort of these generic things that could apply to a lot of people. And then when they do apply to someone, it's like, there, see, it works.
But Jenny also says that Pokemon can't understand human speech, which I think is straight bull.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, what are battles then?
Right.
Like, what? That makes no sense.
I guess maybe they understand a subset, but no, I'm with you. That was just Jenny being a cop.
Yeah.
She just extrapolated so hard.
Every Pokemon has a small travel-sized Pokemon English to Pokemon dictionary that has just like their moves in it, so they can.
Yeah, just like a lookup table.
About. Yeah. Thunderbolt. Pika P. Okay, that's
that one. Yeah, with the thunder and the bolt makes sense.
Yeah. And then she sees Team Rocket. She recognizes them. Jesse, haven't I seen you before? And they're like, no, we're normal people. We're definitely not part of the villainous Team Rocket, right?
And this was did you like this little
yeah, this is neat. She pulls out a little picture of Butch and Cassidy.
Yeah, a couple of Team Rocket people that they have locked up before. So there you go.
Yeah, you know what? Credit where credit's due. At least Jesse and James haven't been arrested twice.
They've been jailed, but not convicted. Yeah.
And not by cops.
Right.
They were jailed by Domino in Mewtwo Returns.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, they don't tend to stay in jail, so I'll give them that.
There's a Butch and Cassidy one where they end up in a jail for a bit, but
right.
But they're only jailed. They're never convicted. They're never incarcerated. They never go to prison. Nothing like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Butch and Cassidy have been to prison, so
yeah, they're better at staying out of the big house.
Yeah, exactly.
Than Butch and Cassidy, so give them that. But yeah, so she chases after them, but there's some smoke bombs that come out of nowhere. Oh god, it's not even Team Rockets. That's crazy. It's Team Rocket Bolt. They get out of there, and apparently Simon got away too after the smoke dissipates.
Yeah, so a whole bunch of fleeing, and they're gonna take Pikachu to the Poke Center with Jenny now.
He inhaled some smoke. Oh no. Oh,
poor
little
Pikachu.
guy. He's coughing. Ah, it's so sweet.
Now we get a kind of an important scene here. Team Rocket now sees Simon, the old man, going away with some men in suits. Interesting.
Interesting. We'll follow them. Off screen, we hear the gang and Jenny driving away. They didn't want to animate that part.
Cool.
So they jump in the bike. But then we see Simon getting interrogated by this mob boss guy.
So these are the swindlers, and they are just like the Italian-American mafia.
We're the fakers. Yeah. We're all fakers. We're all con men. You know? And I'm the mob guy. You'll be sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah, we'll give him the cement necktie, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean. Wear some brick shoes.
The Colombian enema, you feel me?
Oh.
So, we hear the gangsters now reveal what they've been doing to swindle people. They pretend to be able to speak Pokemon, and in that parallel to real-world psychics, they just tell these, like, overly general statements. They say, oh, we just tell the people what they want to hear. You're an awesome trainer. More food, please. I'm a Pidgey. I like flying.
True.
And trainers eat it up, I guess.
Yeah. But Simon maintains that he can actually talk to them, and he only charges so that he can keep his rest stop open. And so the mob's like, well, then you'd be more than happy to talk to the police, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Huh? And Simon seems a little like, oh, God, I don't know about that.
Well, the cops don't like me either, guys.
No. So we're going to tear out your eyeballs, and we'll see how you like that. And then we're going to rip off your toenails, one at a time, until you join us.
Wait, are they actually talking about physically torturing him?
Yeah, because then they're going to rip off his fingers, one at a time.
One, two,
and then you know what we're gonna do, Simon? We're gonna fucking circumcise you.
Oh, because...
But none of us are trained
because this is a kosher mafia. Gotcha.
You know you have a problem, but none of us have trained urology degrees. But we're just gonna give it a go anyway, and we're gonna see what happens. You know?
Yeah, my cousin Tony here's real good with a knife. You know what I mean? We call him Tony, cut your dick. He can cut your dick.
Tony, cut your dick. Get over here.
Yeah.
Get over here, cousin Tony. He's gonna cut your dick. That's why we call him Tony, cut your dick.
It's witty. You know, it's clever. It's clever. Simon, it's clever.
It's clever. Don't you think so, Simon? It's clever.
Tony, cut your dick. Okay.
We could do an hour of just that.
We shouldn't, but yes, we could.
It'd be fun. Where the fuck am I in my notes?
So none of that happened.
Yeah, Team Rocket are watching it, right? And they're like, man, we can make a racket out of fake Pokemon interpretation.
Oh, hell yeah. Team Rocket loves hearing about a racket, and they don't play tennis, if you know what I'm saying.
But Meowth can literally interpret Pokemon to human speech. That is what he does.
That is actually funny that Meowth is around all of this because he's the key to everything. Yeah. And it's not quite dialed in, is it? But Meowth could bust everything open here. He could confirm, he could deny. Like, Meowth is the Rosetta Stone that Jenny was looking for.
He really is. And so he goes on this whole thing about, like, I can talk to Pokemon. Pokemon don't lie. And Jesse and James are like, Meowth, you're the biggest liar we know. It's like, oh, you're right. I wasn't a liar until I learned to talk human. I wish I wasn't cursed with such intelligence and ability.
Which is kind of interesting. They almost describe, I mean, this is something that people, I think, feel, right? Is that animals have sort of a a simplicity of virtue, I suppose, and that human intelligence has this curse and blessing where you now make moral decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what they're saying, is that this like awakening of self-awareness that Meowth has gone through gives him the potential to be corrupted.
Yeah,
this is what I mean about this episode, Kellan. Like, it is fillery, it is throwaway. I don't necessarily like where it goes, but it's full of good ideas.
We really do live in a society.
Oh, fuck off.
So,
Truth.
So, Simon is refusing to join the mob.
Yeah.
So we're in an interesting position. We can't let you go now, Simon.
You know our secret.
We can't let you go.
You've met Tony cut your dick, and he didn't even get to cut your dick. So what's he gonna do?
I think we're gonna have to take one of your kidneys.
Come over
as
here,
payment.
Jimmy. Rob your kidney.
And then when Jimmy robs your kidney, we're gonna get Jimmy sew you up. He's gonna fix you up. He's gonna sew that suture right up.
Yeah, we can only think of Jimmy and Tony. Those are the only mob.
That's how they tell them apart. That's how we tell them apart. We got 40 Jimmys, we got 40 Tonys. We gotta come up with a clever nickname for each one.
And
so we know
they
who's
each got professions. At the end of the day, Tony, get your carbonara, we'll get our carbonara, and then and your gabagool.
We don't see Jimmy day trading too much. Because he's out on the stock market. He's out on Wall Street.
He's funding the operations.
Yeah. He's how we get the cash. He's how we get the moolah. I don't know why we do this interpreting thing anymore when Jimmy day trading is out
Jimmy
there.
Day trading really is what makes it all happen.
He's really the backbone of the whole operation. So he's refusing to join. Team Rocket, again, they're still listening in. They think it might be worth the risk to help this guy for their own gain. To which, again, I say, you don't need this guy. You have Meowth.
Yeah. Meowth is the secret.
Yikes. So at the center, Pikachu's actually getting a recharge. It's also interesting to note that part of the whole what makes you think that Simon's a quack thing is that Ash on the bike does nothing to help Pikachu. Like, he's still totally spent after however much Ash did.
It's almost like the electricity's helping, but he just needs some sleep. Like, it's part of it too.
But he actually gets recharged. He'll be back to normal in the morning. And so Jenny heads out, and Ash is like, I wonder if Oak's awake. So we're going to call Oak at 4 a.m, see what he's up to. Thankfully, he is awake. Ash is asking him about people who can talk to Pokemon, and Oak says that people who can understand Pokemon aren't unheard of, but they're mostly in myth and legend. There's no actual accounts of any human alive.
Yeah, there's no evidence.
Days.
It's not evidence-based. So Ash
Maybe
is
this guy
like,
is a
okay,
phony.
so I mean, Simon, I guess, is a phony. And during this, or at least in the background, Simon sneaks in. I know I can talk to Pokemon, you little fuck. And then he starts talking to Pikachu. Are you feeling better, Pikachu? And he says, okay, fine. I don't really know actual words, but I know feelings. I get the vibes. And this is when he tells us about the origins of his quote-unquote ability. Once upon a time. He tells us a story. It was 60 years ago. He was a kid. So Simon's roughly probably like close to 70, I guess.
67, 68, yeah. 69.
There was a storm. He lived on a farm, and there was a tornado, okay? And this is very, like this ending setting of the original Twister movie is what it looks like, honestly, with the farmyard cellar. His dad put Simon down into the farmyard cellar. He's going to look for the neighbors. I was like, oh, God, the dad is going to die. Simon's crying in the shelter, and then these Pokemon appear. He can hear their voices, and he hears their words. They're talking to them for hours. They're kind of funny sounding, too.
He's a Pidgey and a Rattata and an Oddish, and they're talking. They're like, man, you got no friends. We got no friends. We'll be down here whenever you want to talk to someone.
Hell yeah.
And you're alone. They kind of forgot about the storm. And this whole time in this sequence, I just couldn't help but think, man, this kid's got some bushy-ass eyebrows.
Yeah, he's got those Mizkif eyebrows. Big caterpillars.
Big ones. So eventually some people came to find him, but the Pokemon disappeared, the farm was destroyed, and he never heard from those Pokemon since. My question is, where'd Dad go? Did Dad die?
He's helping the neighbor. No,
where is he?
The parents find him, right?
I don't. The people that find him are like silhouettes. We're not shown exactly who those are.
I mean, I was ready for tragedy, so I don't know.
Yeah. So Simon sometimes he says he thinks maybe he just imagined it. because he's never felt that again.
And it
he
was
feels
like
in his heart.
And it was like
that
in
he
a
understands them.
crisis. It was in a crisis. It could have been like trauma fueling some of that. I don't, but we don't know. We really don't know what exactly happened or what
It was.
he's
I mean,
gone through.
it was clearly imagination.
I mean, he's also a kid, so yeah.
Yeah.
But he believes he can still understand them. He
And they
is
understand
worried
him.
though. Like he's like, have I been gaslighting myself and everyone for all of these years? Like he's a little bit worried about that.
Am I a con man? Am I a swindler?
Pikachu thanks Simon here, which kind of gives him a boost again.
He really struggles his way out to thank him, and that's very sweet. But he's angry then. Oh god, because what's that? Oh, it's a bunch of Magnemite and Magneton. Because the mob is back. They're back. And they're back with drove us here, Timmy. Timmy drove us here. Timmy drive the van.
Gangsters got them surrounded. Yeah, and they've got these Magnemite and Magneton that are they're the muscle, right?
Yeah. I do love when they're like reintroducing themselves. Essentially, one of the bad guys is like, "We're all con men." I just love the moment of clarity.
Yeah, I like that too.
They're self-aware.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing. But Team Rocket are flying above. They're just watching. Simon is talking to them, maintaining that he does it out of love for Pokemon. And so like, let's see how much you love these Pokemon. Huh? And so the Magnemites start sucking up all the electricity, and the main mob guy goes, ah, ha, 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 ha.
And Joy runs out and yells at them. She's like, "You fuck, stealing our power again. It's gonna
That's your problem."
There's this continuous plot on like electrical threats to Poke Centers because none of them have like proper backup generators.
Yeah, they really need some generators. And
all of them have these like really serious acute care equipment. So like every Poke Center across Kanto and Johto have like a sick Rattata that will die if the electricity goes out.
Not the Rattata. No. So they're like, she's like, "Get out of here, please." And they're like, "Well, we ain't going nowhere until we take care of the phony." And Ash is like, "I'll take care of you."
Bitch.
And Simon steps in. He's like, "No, I'll talk to the Magnemites."
Okay, Simon.
But that's their Pokemon. You can't talk to Pokemon. And he's like, "No, they can feel what's in my heart."
The music ramps up here. It nice.
Does.
I like it. And
he's like, "Please stop. We need the electricity. Think of the Pokemon. Think of yourself.
Somebody think of the children.
And your Pokemon. Wouldn't you be upset if they tried to kill you too?" But the mob guy's like, "We get them starved. They're starving for electricity because we haven't fed them in a week."
Yeah, so this is the like starving dogs, bring it to attack a person. Or in Snatch with the pig farms, keep a pig hungry enough it'll eat through bone.
We haven't fed him in a week because Timmy Dog Food died with the fishes. So he hasn't been around to feed them.
Timmy Dog Food became fish food, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean.
It's irony. It's irony. You know about irony?
You know what the definition of ironic is?
Tony Irony Explainer, come over here.
Tony English degree. Make use of it, please.
So Simon, what does Simon do, Kellan?
He's begging with them.
Yeah.
Take pity on the poor Pokemon in the center. Do what you want with me, but they might not survive the night. Consider them, essentially. And as he's saying this, we get this, I thought, this really nice shot of a Pidgey and a Rattata and an Oddish in the hospital beds being treated. I was like, oh my god, callback. Yeah. Oh, it's like when he was a kid. Very sweet. Please let them be safe.
Same Pokemon. Yeah, very cool.
And the Magnemite and Magneton, they stop and they kind of float down to the ground. Simon spoke from the heart. They understood.
He got through to them, yeah.
Team Rocket, they're crying waterfalls over this.
He cares. That's what caring is like.
He knows how to speak to the Pokemon's heart.
Oh,
he even got through to Meowth.
Yeah,
good
nice.
for him.
Tough exterior.
And so Mob Guy just kind of yells at the Magnemite and Magneton, and we get some real good emotional music as he goes to like kick one of them. But Pikachu steps in. He thunderbolts all of them, recharging every single one of them. Brock detective moment. He's like, "Oh my god, Pikachu used his electricity to recharge all of them with electricity. Whoa!" So the Magnemite and Magneton, they all group together. They bolt the mob real good.
Yeah, they turn on the gangsters. They're like, "We have realized that you, with your forcible action and despairing us of our natural access to natural resources, are turning us upon our fellow Pokemon. And that is a violation of our fundamental rights. and thus will electricity we shall shock you.
Oh, that's ironic again. We were trying to use the electricity against those people, and you turned around and used it on us.
Tony Irony Explainer, it's your day. It's your day.
Yeah, it's your day. The time has come for you, finally.
I know Ma was always screaming at you about the spaghetti and the spaghetti this and the spaghetti, but now you finally had your day. You did your job.
I know Mom and Pop wanted you to take over the old pasta shop. And you wanted to get that master's in English. And you wanted to be a writer. You wanted to be a professor. And it just hasn't worked out for you. But finally your time has come and you can explain these writing, fucking features, whatever they're called.
What are they called?
Tools, utensils,
literary devices. Literary devices. That's what they're called.
You can finally explain those literary devices you love so much.
Ah, beautiful. Love to see
What
you
a
grow.
day.
Yeah.
What a day for you, Tony, Irony Explainer. So they get arrested.
Police show up, arrest them right away. Simon declares, "Arrest me too." And Jenny's like, you saved the setter. You're good.
Joy called Jenny and told him the whole story. He puts his arms out to get handcuffed, and she's just like, "Thank you." Oh my God! Simon smiles. Oh,
yeah,
Meowth.
all right.
Team Rocket above Meowth says everything's worked out for the best. If we were down there, we'd have got arrested, and we didn't get bolted by those Magnemite and Magneton. Thankfully, we won't be blasting away this time. And they go flying right into a giant storm. Oh God!
Yeah, there's the blast off, and now
they get bolted. Yep.
It's the morning. And Simon's saying goodbye to Pikachu.
Shakes his hand. That's cute.
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to give up because, this shit is kind of a scam.
Yeah.
The gang is like, but don't give up. You might get it eventually.
You might be close to a breakthrough.
It's like, I don't know.
Just keep working at it. I can't stop with the fucking mob voice.
Yeah, they're not even in the episode anymore.
No. And so Simon's maybe I'll keep going. Maybe I'll keep doing it. So they go their separate ways. He may just be onto something, says the narrator. And so
I know, this is funny.
In the canyon, Simon's walking along, and he sees a Meowth. And Meowth starts talking to him in English. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Tells him to keep going. Maybe this is the big breakthrough that Ash was talking about, Simon thinks. And so Meowth runs, and Simon's like, that just happened. That really just happened.
I'm really an interpreter.
Just like when I was a little boy. But yes, of course, it was Team Rocket. We pan out. We see them watching Simon, and they're like, it's nice to be the good guy for once. And that was I liked that moment. That was a nice moment.
Yeah.
For the show. And that's the episode.
So, Kellan, how do you... This is the interesting question of the episode for me. And like I said at the beginning, I think almost like a Star Trek style legal drama episode about this would have been compelling, where it's like, where do you fall on this? So I think that Simon should stop selling his services. He should. Because I don't think that there's clear enough evidence that it's working. However, I think that's purely on the premise that him selling it on I'm a Pokemon interpreter, which he's not. However, he has shown that he does have useful skills here in Pokemon. I don't know what the word would be, crisis counseling. He can be useful. He does have a skill, right? In terms of in getting through with Pokemon, almost like a component of raising or counseling them. I just think that it's if he's purely marketing it as interpretation, literal interpretation, that's the scam component. Is that's just not true. But he's got a skill, right? He could be useful for Pokemon traders. He just needs to change how that's offered and sold, I think.
I think it's clear that he fully believes that he could talk to Pokemon. The mob boss is like, we're all fakers. We're all fakers, don't you know? And Simon's like, no, we're not a faker. And I think he fully believed that he could, in fact, talk to Pokemon.
And that was that was a problem.
Yes, but he can't talk to Pokemon. I think that's part of the realization at the end. He can't talk to Pokemon, but he can reach them in their heart.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, and I think there's a way to spin that's actually valuable to trainers. It more I just don't know what the word is, and he doesn't either.
No.
But it is a Pokemon counseling kind of thing.
I also feel like what Simon does is what literally every other trainer does.
Yep.
Because
exactly.
Pokemon can fucking understand human speech. We know this. It's clear as day from episode 1.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what I'm saying, is that the literal Pokemon interpreter kind of phrase. That's the scam. But you're right, he is just doing something that is trainer adjacent, right?
Yeah.
And is trainer compatible and could be a service to trainer.
He could be a Pokemon therapist.
Yeah.
I think that's where he should go.
Yeah, I would phrase it as counselor to be a little bit more broad, but yeah, something around that angle. And then there's something there.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so the literary hour, the trope I'm looking at, I've brought it up a few times here. TVTropes.com has it called, the page is called Phony Psychics, right? This is this idea of people pretending to have psychic abilities, and then what they end up doing is just saying these general things like, I'm a Pidgey, I like to fly. And then people buy it up because, it applies to me, but it isn't actually anything specific. So from Dante's The Divine Comedy, supposedly psychic people are all condemned to the fourth bolgia in Malebolge, the circle of fraud, it's called, which suggests that Dante thought all psychics are phony, which is kind of interesting. These people are all punished by having their heads put on backwards.
What the fuck?
Yeah. There's another psychic from Good Omens, Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. There's Madame Tracy, who's a phony medium that's putting on a show, peddling, blah, 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 doing tarot readings and all these platitudes. But what ends up happening is she ends up actually channeling a ghost by accident, since there's some possessions and stuff that can happen in it. And so that's a bit of a subversion. They play with this idea of like, okay, can it work, can it not? Even in Magic with Professor Trelawney from Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's some Sherlock Holmes references here, a couple. Multiple phony psychics in the story, The Adventure of the Deadly Seance. Watson believes the main one was clearly in contact with his late brother because of all the details. And this is where Sherlock Holmes uses that as kind of a teaching point, that she was simply agreeing with what he wanted to hear. And that's where the psychic confirmation came from. So lots of kind of examples, real world fueling literature that but yeah, interesting concept, interesting ideas in this episode, like I said. So
yeah. Let's rate it.
Okay, four-part time. Give me those categories.
We're gonna start with the character of the day.
Simon?
Interesting. Yes.
Okay, there's different ways to take about this. Likability. I wouldn't necessarily like him all that much, but as an interesting character, I think he's pretty compelling, actually.
Up there.
He's up there. He's got a lot more to him plot-wise. And like I said, he's got there's some interesting ideas that are at the core of him. He's flawed, which is interesting, and he wears his flaws, obviously, which gives us a lot to chew on. I'm going to go with an 8. I think he's a well-constructed character of the week.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's a well-constructed character.
Yeah, I can see that. I just look at him and I'm like, what a fucking quack, man.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. He's flawed.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not that high, but he's decent. I'll give him a 7.
Okay. Pretty good.
So, 7.5. Final category of the day will be the Jelly Donut Effect. What are those dub edits, if any? So, interestingly, there was a scene fully removed from the dub where Team Rocket tries to blow up the mob's hideout to rescue Simon.
Interesting.
Which, when I was watching the episode, they're like, we should help him. We should figure out a way to help him. And then they do nothing with that. And Simon just kind of gets out somehow. We don't see how. And then Team Rocket are flying above later. But apparently, in this scene, Team Rocket fired 3 missiles at the hideout. 2 hit the roof and don't do damage. But the third one falls out of the barrel, sending Team Rocket flying.
Okay. And presumably that would be edited for gun violence?
Missiles. Yes. Explosions, I guess.
Well, look at this frame that they have underneath it. It does look an awful lot like a gun. So maybe there's something there, but okay. I mean, that's an interesting deletion. I don't quite get if there's a cultural significance there, though.
I don't think so. I think it's just because boom, explosion, bomb.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could even just be for timing. I don't know.
Maybe. But it's interesting when they remove a full scene.
No, yeah. I mean, that deserves some points there.
Yeah.
And that's the only claim dub edit.
Yeah. Like, to grade on a curve, a lot of dub edits these days are nothing or something real small.
I know there were really interesting ones in kind of season 1, and then they peter out. I mean, allegedly just probably getting into more of a cadence or feedback loop, right? Like the dub editors, giving recommendations or something.
But I know there's more like coming up. Like there are interesting ones still in the future and stuff.
Okay. Well, you know what this. Okay, I want to give this some points because this is an interesting scene, and it's kind of okay. Why did they delete that? That's kind of curious, but yeah, it doesn't really have like that cultural weight that we would look for in the Jelly Donut effect. So weighing those two notions, I'm gonna go with a 5.
5, yeah. Again, to grade on a curve, I'm up there. I'm gonna go 6.
Okay,
just flat 6. That's 5.5 overall for the Poke Spokesman. 6.5, slightly above average.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, that is the end of the episode. So, Kellan, what are we going to do next week?
Oh, it's 2 more episodes. We're going to look at episode 198, Control Freak, or in Japanese, Golbat versus the Masked Queen Musashi! The battle in the ruins!
That's a crazy name.
Crazy name. Followed by episode 199, which I'm excited for, The Art of Pokemon.
Yeah,
or Japanese,
the thumbnail
The
looks
Miracle
intriguing.
of Double! Double exclamation mark. Shining in the morning sun! Exclamation mark. Where we find Smeargle finally. Smeargle's such an interesting little guy.
So, Kellan, next week is episode 99.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we'll be coming to 100 around the corner. Are you comfortable giving a teaser about what we're thinking for 100? Big 100?
A teaser? Oh, what do we say for a teaser?
We're just telling him. I don't care.
Nah, we should wait till next week to say it outright. But to tease it, it'll be interesting. We'll look at something canon, something in the anime, but it's something we haven't talked about much. Something we've kind of skipped over a little bit.
And it's a bit of a detour. So
a little bit.
We are reserving something fun, something exciting, something unique for episode 100. Consider it a special. We're considering episode 100 a special.
An interesting one, because like we've been doing this for 100 weeks. That's ridiculous.
Never would have we thought this would have lasted.
Absurd. But yeah, so wait for that. Be excited.
Excitement.
Tell us how excited you are. Comment. Engage, please. That's the word. I need a nap.
And speaking of engagement, thank you for listening to the episodes. Please like, subscribe, etc. You can follow us on the YouTube channel is Hydra Leech. We can leave comments about the episode, blah, blah, blah. Also find us, the audio version, wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. Engage on those platforms as well. Like, follow, auto-download, that sort of thing. Spotify, etc. Intro and outro music is 18 Synthwave by Alexia Action. You can also hit us up, leave for questions, comments, etc. We have an email inbox to killadelibird@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter. To Kill A Delibird is the handle, and Kellan's recently set us up on Blue Sky, a Twitter competitor called, and the handle there is To Kill A Delibird. You can also find Kellan on TikTok. The channel is Hydra Leeches for some fun Pokemon-related content. And then occasionally Twitches, twitch.tv/Hydra Leech.
Yeah. Hooray. That's what's going on.
Well, I'm pretty excited for some of this upcoming stuff. Of course, no big 100, but I mean, the art of Pokemon looks fun, Kellan.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that much about that freak, but he looks delightful.
Smeargle is a fucking weird guy.
He's a weird Pokemon, yeah.
He's such a strange
Just high
Pokemon.
on his own paint fumes.
People eating Smeargle paint. I forgot about that. That was a good one. That was a good joke by us.
Well, people, do you get high on your own supply? Are you like
Smeargle?
Eat Smeargle
paint?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go eat some Smeargle paint, Kellan.
I'm gonna take a goddamn nap.
Okay.
I am delirious. Goodbye.
Delirium, aquarium. Hello. Goodbye. See ya.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
I'm gonna go sleep with the fishes, if you know what I mean. You know?
I'm gonna go study irony for a bit. It seemed useful.
Gonna read about some more of these literary devices.
Ma, where's the gabagool?
Yeah, lasagna, spaghetti. Who touched my spaghetti? Right, bye.
Carbonara.